So we're in early to mid-March now. I would like to just take you along and show you exactly what I'm doing to get these beds going, to get these beds started, and what I want to do with them. So we'll be talking about this one that's behind me, the raised garden beds there, some of the soil that we got in last weekend actually, and we'll just talk about where we're at with that and what the plan is moving ahead. So stay tuned. So this right here is the giant pile of dirt that we got last weekend. There, sorry, my shadow. So this is going to go in the tops of the raised garden beds that we've been building, and I'll go over that with you guys in a bit. One thing I want to do today, however, is check the pH using this guy right here. This meter is a fantastic meter, must have in my opinion. It's a three-way meter, so it measures the pH, the moisture, and the light. There we go. The middle one is the light, so it'll show you just how bright it is. This is maximum. That's the pH, which we're going to be testing this soil over here with, and then all the way back there, that's the moisture. Whoops, we're not focusing. There we go. And that's the moisture, which the air is kind of dry. Funny enough though, water was wet. I checked. So how we're going to measure it is, we're going to take this thing, we're going to move it to the pH, we're going to stick it in as far as we can, and we're going to check. This looks like it is sitting at about 7 for the pH. Right there. Yeah, it's right about 7.5, which is a little bit too alkaline for me. So I know now what I need to add to this to make it really good, fertile soil for the garden to thrive in. Yeah, it's sitting at right about 7.5, something like that. I'm going to check a few other areas there, and if it's all consistent, then I know exactly what I need to do with it to give us the best possible garden this year. So, in this bed here, let me fix this. In this bed here, got a janky little thing to set the camera on. In this bed here, we've got the backfill that we had. It was sitting at the acidity level of about 7 to 8. And I don't know if you saw any red stuff. I just threw the kitchen scraps in from last night. And then I've added some straw. It's just a good layer of it. I'll be adding a little bit of leaves as well, and then we'll be adding that topsoil to the top of this. We'll be mixing it all in. I will be mulching as well on the top of that. And then I'll be planting my early spring crops in this bed. We'll see if that works out. It's a brand new bed, so we're just doing what we can. I think I probably will be mixing in a little bit of some of my worm compost and my sphagnum moss as well. I'll probably be mixing that in that layer where I'll be planting the seeds, and then I will be mulching it later on as the seedlings come up, and we will also throw some frost fabric or some sort of a frost protection, because we do still get some pretty low lows. It's not going to be, after this coming week, it's not going to be that much. It's going to be maybe like -8-ish, but it'll fluctuate between, like, all of the lows will fluctuate between like +3 some nights, and then -5 to -8 some nights, and then back to 0 and that sort of stuff. So I'll have to monitor it every day, and then come out here and figure things out accordingly. I will take you on that journey as well. yeah, it is what it is. So right now I just put some straw in. I'm trying to decide if I've put too much in. I might just take a little bit of it off and move it to the garden and behind you guys, and then just kind of split it between the two. And then I've got a bunch of leaves also that I'll be mixing in with this layer, and then we'll be putting in the next layer, and that's the layer that I'll be planting in. And we will be mulching over top of that too. It does help to keep the heat in the soil for the night as well. So hopefully this is the first time I've planted anything other than carrots this early in the year. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see which crops survive and which don't. I'm very excited to try this out this year, and these beds I think are the perfect thing for that. There we go. All right, so this is this layer. What's gonna happen is it's gonna kind of break down. It's going to do its thing over time. I'm just picking out like things I don't want in my garden, like little wrappers and stuff. You saw a couple of clips of that, but it's really windy here and things just blow around. But I'm seeing a lot of things like this right here that you want. This is mycelium. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna try and hold it still for you. There. You want that. That's good stuff for your garden. So we're at this stage. We're gonna fill it up about another 4 or 5 inches with the soil that we've got. We'll mix in some of the other goodies in there, and it should work. This should be breaking down by the time the roots get down to this. This has been sinking since we filled it. It's going to keep sinking, so I am going to probably put a little bit extra dirt in here. But by the time the roots get down into this stuff should be breaking down by then. So hopefully that'll work, and hopefully this garden will be off to a really, really good start. To talk a little bit about these containers, these are actually shipping containers. I looked at all of the markings that were on here. There's nothing toxic that was shipped in these, so these are not treated chemically. They've been only heat treated. The things that were shipped in here were not toxic in any way, shape, or form. And so we were told that they were really good for raised garden beds. We did take some plastic anyway and line them. That should also help with toxicity, but also the reason why I did the plastic around these is so that when we go to water this, the moisture will stay in here rather than be, slowly seeping out through the wood. The one that's the really tall one up against the fence over there, that one was entirely made out of pallet wood, the really thick pallet wood. Ryan Witten built that, took all the pallets apart and constructed that from strictly pallet wood and dunnage. That was also only heat treated. So we're very careful to make sure that we don't have any toxic things coming into our vegetable gardens, because we do want to eat from here. And so hopefully everything will work out. So my next project here is this bed here. So I'm wanting to sow some seeds, deciding if I'm going to do it this week or if I'm going to wait until after this next deeper frost. However, I do want to make sure that I mulch here, so I should probably just plant the seeds first. Less work. I like it. Maybe I'll plant some of them here, and then if they die in the frost, then I'll at least still have seeds and I can still plant some more. Good call. But what we're going to be doing also is mulching over top of that, and I need to be able to put something over top of that so that the wind doesn't take the mulch and blow it all over the yard, making more work for us. That's not what we're about. We do not want to work too hard. So what I've done, I'll show you in a minute, but what I've done is I've just kind of staked, I guess, pinned, if you will, some of the straw along the side where I planted some spring bulbs last week. However, I do want to plant in the whole center, and I don't have enough of those stakes. So what I'm going to do, I found some chicken wire back here somewhere. It's right there. So I found some of that. Not sure if it'll be enough, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that across the whole thing and just sort of pin it in place on the ends, maybe a little bit in the middle, and then hopefully that will keep the mulch down. And I'll just do a light mulch for now, just because they will be seedlings and they won't be able to get through the thick mulch. But if I just do a light mulch now, and then when the freezing comes, like the frost will come still next week, we're still going to get like -10, -12. I think one of the websites said like -16 or something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some sort of a frost fabric or some sort of extra, maybe we can even put some extra mulch down for those nights, and then take it off after all of that is over. So we'll kind of make a plan from that. I see some garbage, so I'm going to take some of that garbage out of here. We're going to do some planting, and then we're going to throw some straw down, and then I'm going to put some of the chicken wire on top of that, and we'll see how that looks. Probably not that great, but it will be great in the long run. All right, so the flowers that I plan on growing are the columbine, the lupin, and the lavender. Now these all say that they're perennials. You'll see at the top corner there, they all say that they're perennials, which means that the seeds survive and thrive in the dirt, even in the winter, throughout the winter. What they'll do is they'll drop their seeds every winter. These guys need to these guys need to have a cold snap for the seeds to actually germinate. So it's good that I'm planting them now, so they'll be able to go through that next little frost cycle that we'll have, and then they'll hopefully be able to germinate. If they don't, that's okay. I won't plant all of them today, so there will still be some available to plant again later on if they didn't germinate this time. With the lupin also, they drop their seeds and the seeds stay in the soil for the winter. That's naturally what happens. And so I don't feel like that's an issue to be able to grow these or plant these, or lavender. This one in particular, it's a perennial. It does give you, on the back of the packet, it does say sow indoors, but you can also sow them outdoors, April, May, and June. I'm going to do some now and some later. We'll see what happens. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's why they call me the crazy gardener, because I start earlier and earlier every year. I am just learning about winter sowing. I cannot wait to be able to do that this coming winter. And I'm just noticing something. Where did it go? Do you guys know what this bug is? See if I can get it on camera or if it'll fly away before we get too close. Oh, where'd it go? Do you see it? The black and red bug that's walking there? Yeah. That's a maple bug. We get hundreds of them every year. If anybody knows how to get rid of them, please tell me, because I'd love to, because they're gross. They're just icky, and they're everywhere. So yeah, anyway, so I'll be planting some of these today. I will leave space in here in certain spots for other plants as well, but today that's what I'll do, and then I'll mulch it, and then I'll put the chicken wire over it, and then it'll stay that way for probably 3 weeks before we see what is going on with this garden. So yeah, these guys are coming up. You see that? These guys right here. These are all the mini daffodil. I got these just in a pot. I think they were like from Save On Foods or Safeway or something. And I got them last year in March, and they were growing just in a little pot. And they were just like this little bit here, I think. Just a small little itty bitty pot. Where are we? Here we go. So it was just this little itty bitty bit. And now we've got these guys growing. And there's another one coming up there. I don't think it's spread any farther than that. However, I am so excited. Oh, there's another little one coming up. So I'm so excited to see these guys. And yeah, they're about a half an inch. The tallest one's about an inch. I know camera can't really tell. Maybe an inch, maybe half an inch. But yeah, so they're coming up. It does have a little bit of frost damage, so I will be mulching this also very lightly before I put the stuff over top of that. That's the neighbor's dogs barking. That's like literally 2 or 3 doors down. Those guys love to bark. And then that is still the state of my chives, which I haven't seen anything, but that's okay. We got lots of time to see that. All right, so let's get to planting and let's get this done. I don't have a lot of time left. So yeah, next time you see this, it's gonna look a lot different. So I've just finished sewing them. There's the first little bit, so I've got my bulbs, my spring bulbs right in the front here underneath the straw. Then I've got the columbine, and then I've got lupin and lavender kind of all the way along. So you can see where is it? Right there, where my foot made a mark right there. And so from there towards the footpath, I've got stuff sewn. I will take the rest of them, the seeds, and I will be planting some of those inside, and I'll start those inside, so I do have an insurance of plants, but we'll see which one does better, planting them directly outside or in the inside. That was a little bit more difficult than I anticipated. But that's also all of the chicken wire we have. I thought we had more, but we're gonna have to go get some. But yeah, so this is kind of what we're gonna be doing. We'll just put another row of chicken wire just along the back side there, and then a little bit along the end here where I ran out. You can see where I ran out right here. And yeah, that should keep, hopefully, fingers crossed, that should keep that all in place. This has reminded me that I do have some stuff back there also that I don't want to have blown away. So I'm going to come up with something. I think I'm just going to put a bunch of sticks in the top. That should keep that from being blown away, because I'm out of time and I can't haul dirt right now. So I think that's what I'll do back there for now. And yeah, we'll get back at it on the weekend. So I hope this was helpful. I hope this was useful. If you have any questions, any comments, any thoughts, please leave them down below. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Ciao.